Okay, Saturday night's main event tonight. We all knew going into this show that we were going to be watching it for one segment, one match, one segment. And boy, the WWE pretty much give us one segment for us to get really hyped up about. Okay, one match. And believe me, they had all their matches done in 1 hour besides their main event match. But, they loaded this. I didn't 100% expect this. I thought they might throw a little bit in because they were in New York. Not as much as what they did. But, and honestly, I'm not a big fan of it either. But, this is WWE Wrestling 101 anymore to get people to, more people to tune in, I guess. And that is to bring in outsiders. And that's exactly what they were doing with bringing in the New York Knicks. And because they were in Madison Square Garden, so on and so forth. But we watched 2 hours of Saturday night's main event, and we got one tag team matchup that was important that actually added to SummerSlam. And honestly, that is what was important about Saturday night's main event. That is what we needed to focus on. Okay, wrestling fans? But before I dive into the entire show, let's just face it. Isn't it more enjoyable to watch Saturday night's main event than the other shows? I mean, isn't it? The overall presentation. And I know we went over this before, but just think. They do interviews in the backstage. We went through the entire show with barely any commercials. The mat that Vince McMahon considered sacred was barely covered. It had like one big ad on it, and the rest of it, nothing. The turnbuckle pads had WWE on it instead of that disgusting drink Prime. WWE really presents Saturday night's main event just so much better than they do Raw and SmackDown and their pay-per-views as far as the layout presentation. So wish they would go back to at least somewhat what they used to give us. I don't know about you wrestling fans. Y'all let me know what you're thinking about that in the comments below. Do you think that they should give us a style like Saturday night's main event? Or do you think they should keep it now? Okay, the way it is now. All right. I don't think anybody wants the presentation the way it is now on every Monday, Friday, and PLE pay-per-view. Anyway, wrestling fans, look, Saturday night's main event, the first match, look, isn't really worth talking about too much about, except the fact that Paige and Brie Bella are no longer the women's tag team champions. About time. Fatal Attraction, you probably won't do much with it anyway, but Brie Bella and Paige didn't need to be the tag champs anyway. The only reason why they were tag champs is because Nikki Bella was injured. That's all I have to say about that. Danhausen and the Judgment Day. This is when all the New York Knicks crap started. I was kind of getting into this match, I was. It was a no disqualification match, so it was going to be a bunch of the 2-on-1 assault, as the commentary team would phrase it, and 2-on-1 beatdown, and Dominic Mysterio helping out JD McDonough, blah 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 blah, as they like to phrase it in WWE. But and we get some weapons and a table and all this stuff. And of course, whoever gets the table out is going to be the one that goes through it, which JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio is the ones who got the table out. We knew that they were going to go through the table. Duh. Anybody that's watched wrestling before knew that was going to happen, okay? And if they teased us that the only people that we were going to see is those stupid little damn Minnehausens. They teased us that. Thankfully, those weren't the only people. And I was hoping we'd see Enzo Amore or somebody like that, people they've already been teasing. Instead, we got New York Knicks. Whoopee. And I know if I know someone who watches this that likes the New York Knicks is going to cringe or dislike this or something. Oh well. We didn't need that much of New York Knicks advertisement that they won the NBA championship this year. We didn't. I mean, in the Danhausen in the no disqualification match and the main event segment. Come on, we didn't need that, and quite frankly, we didn't need the captain going all the way through the hallway, looking at all the pictures that are hanging at, which he probably didn't. He didn't look at all of them, but he looked at some of the pictures that Madison Square Garden has, and all that. And everybody cheering him and all this different types of stuff. To the point that Roman Reigns had to pull him away and tell him, let's go, because you are closing up our time. Because they went past 9 o'clock tonight. I'm surprised Peacock didn't cut them off. They very well could have. Anyway, wrestling fans, as far as the rest of the show goes, that tag team match, which really is what matters. Nick Aldis cost Sami Zayn and Gunther the tag team match. So what happens now? Well, Nick Aldis is going to face Gunther at SummerSlam. Oh, speaking of SummerSlam, I got a little news about SummerSlam here in a minute. But look, as far as the rest of it, Nick Aldis is facing Gunther at SummerSlam. We know that's where it's happening because he cost them the tag team match tonight. Now, where does that leave Sami Zayn? Sami Zayn is bound to moan, groan, gripe, and complain at Friday Night SmackDown. Or he'll do it on Raw Monday. One of the two. I mean, I can't see Nick Aldis being a GM. I can't see him making any decisions, really. I can't. Not with him being a competitor. I can't see them allowing Nick Aldis to make decisions for SummerSlam going here forward. So the question is, what is the decision going to be? What's the decision going to be for Sami Zayn? There's only one decision. Triple threat match, SummerSlam. Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk. The only problem with that scenario is, the only thing that makes us cringe about that is that we saw it at Night of Champions. Just with Gunther and CM Punk's spot. But that's what you get for flip-flopping the titles around and all this different types of stuff. That's what you get for backing yourselves up into the corner. And speaking of SummerSlam, guess what, guys? If you enter some New York Knicks type code right now, you can go to SummerSlam for $25. They are so desperate right now. TKO has finally realized that it was not a bad thing to sell tickets the way Vince McMahon did. I remember going to WWE pay-per-views. I remember going to my first pay-per-view, and what I paid to get in was the top ticket was $25. That was nosebleed. House shows were $25. It is sad that TKO is having to go back to that just to sell out what they have, what they're trying to sell out anyway. SummerSlam. You know, the portions that they are not blocking off. Because I know that they have to be blocking off plenty of sections. Because there's no way they are filling up Minneapolis, Minnesota. Oh, no. But that's for another video. But wrestling fans, I'm getting out of here. Remember to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell button, become a subscriber, leave a comment, share, all that kind of great stuff. I don't know why you haven't. I don't know why you're not a subscriber. If you have not done so, it is appreciated. And of course, until I see you again, this is Webby. I'll catch all of you on the other side. Talk to you later.